Hi guys, this is Andrew at FloryPB, and this is going to be the user's manual for the FloryPB PM5 board, PM5, PM6 board. You'll notice the manual that comes in the case is Dye Ultralight Frame board manual for manual and Proto matrix. Same board, just shaped a little differently, but identical features and everything else. This board, just highlight it real quick, comes with all three sets of eyes you could encounter. PM5, PM6 eyes here, PM7, PMR eyes here, and then dye style DM4 eyes and on here. And it uses all the buttons, it uses everything that we have on the board. We'll simply turn it on to start, and I'll show you the LED. The LED lines up with the LED in the back of the marker. So eyes are on. Green. We have a forced shot if you want to shoot. I like doing that sometimes when I'm combating like first shot drop off in the winter and I'm gonna go up to play. I'll like turn the marker upside down and I'll hold it and I'll just take a clearing shot or two. You can see the eyes are functioning. They'll function with any set of eyes you have. The bottom button is the eyes on and off button. Turns them off. Turns them on. When the ball's in breach, it's blue. When it's not, it's green, it's safe. So we'll go through programming next, and then we'll go into the dip switch settings. To enter programming, dip switch 4 needs to be up towards on. And we're going to hold the trigger and turn the marker on. Let it cycle through the lights, let go of the trigger. Now our first setting is going to be green. This is our dwell. Our dwell is set to 18 milliseconds. It's 1 millisecond increments. Next one is red. This is our rate of fire in whole balls. So it's set to 10 by default, but it can go from 1 to 40, so you can play any style you want. Next is purple. It's our anti-mechanical bounce. This is set at 2 milliseconds. It's 1 millisecond increments. If you're pulling the trigger slow, you're playing a very slow league, and you start getting bounce. I shouldn't have done that, but you start getting bounce, you can up the anti-mechanical bounce to combat that if you don't like it or you need to, adjust it. Next is teal. This is our ball and breach delay. It's set to 1 millisecond. If you're running a slower loader or something like that, you might want to up this if you're breaking some paint, because it's just the amount of time that it takes after the ball breaks the eyes for it to allow it to fire. Next is yellow. It's our firing mode. There's 4 firing modes. It's preset to fire mode 3, which is NXL legal, modern NXL legal, but the 4 modes are 1 is semi, 2 is full automatic, 3 is NXL, and 4 is a parabolic old school ramping if you're just screwing around. Next is white. This is our fractional balls per second. So this is where you tune it in to get to your 10.3, 10.2, whatever you want to do. It's originally set to 0. Every click is 0.1 all the way up to 0.9. So 10 clicks is 0.9. 1 click is 0. Finally, we have blue, which is our debounce. It's set to 5 milliseconds. It's 1 millisecond increments. And you can change it from there. So if we want to change something, like let's change the firing mode. So we want to go to semi. We can hold the trigger. Once it turns out, we hit it once. It'll do this, and it's going to show it's going to be set now to semi, one blink. If we want to check that before we change it, we hold the trigger and keep holding it, and it will blink the amount that it is. We'll put it back to 3. This is NXL again. If I hold the trigger, 1, 2, 3, put it back to 3 again. Let it blink out, turn it off when we're done programming, and then when you turn the marker back on, it goes into regular firing mode. And it goes back to just how it was. Now, there's a couple of dip switches on here that we want to talk about. Dip switch 1, which is the first one here. I don't know if you guys can see it perfectly well. Let me come up. Okay. Dip switch 1 is our anti-mechanical bounce. This is a matrix you're going to want to have, or sorry, dip switch are anti-bolt stick. This is a matrix, you're going to want to keep that on always. Dip switch 2 is, if you turn it down, it starts in eyes off mode default. Some people don't run eyes in some markers, so I made that a dip switch for that. These have eyes, you're just going to probably leave it on. Dip switch 3 is a rate of fire control. Just leave it on. We don't have unlimited stuff anymore. You don't need to bother with that. It's going to work great if you just keep it on. It will do whatever you want. Then dip switch 4 is our tournament lock. When it's up, you can program the marker. When you turn it down, the marker is now locked into tournament mode. So you can't program it anymore until you flip that up again. When you do that, you can check the battery level instead if you go to the same process of programming. So if you hold the trigger and turn the marker on, it's going to flash 4 flashes. So that tells us the battery is full. 3 flashes would be 3/4 full, 2 flashes half full. I think you guys get the picture. Then it goes automatically into shooting mode. So I'm going to turn tournament lock back off. And if you go into the programming, you're back in programming mode. And that's pretty much it for the marker, guys. And this board, it's just like every other board that I've made. Same exact setup, same exact everything. It's just for the PM5 and PM6. This is Andrew at FloryPB. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.